Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're choosing to be the version of yourself that has exactly what you want. And if not, well, then this is the video for you. If you are new to my channel, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and yes, I am obsessed with getting what I want, getting it fast, and knowing everything in anything. I think it's anything and everything, right? It's the same. I always mess it up. Why? Because I believe I always mess it up. I am also obsessed with anything and everything that has to do with manifestation. I love creating, well, manifesting. Creating's not really what we're doing, though, is it? Because creation is finished. I'm all over the place today. Hence why we have this kind of video going up. When Kim is short on time, Kim uses a laptop recording because she doesn't have time to edit. Hence the video and its wonderful quality. Let me just say that Zoom is, because I'm recording through Zoom, because it just makes it easier on my laptop. I know that doesn't have to make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. It is cutting out half of my hair gel. So we're going to have to deal with just this. Yes, I just brought it to your attention. If you're new, yep, I'm like this all the time. And I would love for you to subscribe and come back and see me. And please let me know in the comments below that you are new to my channel and that you've subscribed, because I like to know who my new friends are, because YouTube doesn't always tell me. If you would like to work with me in any way, shape, or form, all of that information is in the drop box below. If you are attempting to reach out for regular coaching, please be aware that there is a bit of a wait list. Hence the emergency coaching. So if you feel like you need to get in right away, there is emergency coaching. And let me just make clear with the emergency coaching, that is coaching that, in other words, if you reach out to me for emergency coaching, once I have responded to your email, from there, from the moment you pay, it is within 72 hours of your payment. Not necessarily from when you emailed me, but within a day or two, you're going to hear me for the emergency coaching. And most of the time it's within the same day. So just making that very clear in case there's any misunderstanding. As we know, with videos like this, there will be no editing. So you get it all. So if there's some barking in traffic, we might just hear it all. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop talking. Again, like I was quickly saying, how to work with me, how to join one of my channel memberships, which let me just say that today is Tuesday. And that means 2 of the channel memberships are happening tonight. So if you've been contemplating whether to join or not, I suggest you do and join us tonight. Yeah, twice. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors group. That's the group I think you should join, because that's the group that gives you access to all 3 of the channel memberships. So at 8 p.m. is the Advanced Manifestors. That's the group that deep dives manifestation. We're reading all the books and eventually all the lectures, anything and everything we can find on manifestation to what? Deepen our knowledge. Yeah, deepen the knowledge. So that way we're not shitting ourselves when things are going on in our 3D, right? That's the point of that group, is to share our different perspectives as well, right? Because maybe you think things work a little bit differently than the way I think they work. And that's perfectly fine, because what you believe to be true will be true for you, right? That's how this works. And it's fun. It's a good time. And then right after that at 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time is the exclusive lives group. So yeah, it's going to be back to back tonight, my friends, back to back. The exclusive lives is the group to come to if you would like a weekly zhuzh and the enjoyment of hearing and sharing your own success stories. That is the success stories and tips and tricks only group. We don't talk circumstances. We only talk successes. And there is always successes every single week. It is so much fun. I highly suggest you come and join us. Like really, really, what are you waiting for? Just join and hang out with us. Feel free to bring yourself a glass of wine, or, doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. I'm not pushing you to drink. I'm just saying, come join, relax. It's a good time. Good energy. That's this evening. That's happening tonight. I'm going to keep saying it. And then we have the hot seat group, which gets together on 9 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. That's the group that comes with the trigger warning because we do talk circumstances. Okay. All right. Gonna stop talking. Everything about me is in that drop box below. Let's talk about Vadim Zeland's perspective. And I agree with this perspective and I love it. What could ever possibly get in the way of you getting what you want? Literally nothing but the gatekeeper to eternity. What? The gatekeeper? What is that? Listen up. It's principle number 52 from Reality Transurfing in 78 Days, and it's called the gatekeeper to eternity. The variance space contains everything and everything, literally, and everything that you desire with your heart and mind is yours. You should know, however, that at the threshold of eternity, there stands a gatekeeper, an absolute law, which guards access to everything beyond. The unremitting guardian only admits those who have the audacity to exercise the right of the master. Your pass is the verdict. I am capable and worthy because I have decided it is so. I don't want and I don't hope. I intend. Claim this right and the gatekeeper will throw open the gates to eternity. The interpretation. What makes a showbiz star different to the girl next door? A luminary of science different to the timid student? And the chosen ones different from the rank and file? The answer is one single step. There are those who have been bold enough to claim their right, and there are others who are still procrastinating and do not believe that they are capable or worthy. Does that hit anybody? Listen, and if you're not understanding what I'm writing, I'm going to kim it down, but listen. The firm conviction holds in the minds of the timid that the chosen ones exist because all the rest have chosen them on account of their having some exceptionally outstanding quality. In reality, this is a false stereotype. Totally agree. The chosen ones choose themselves. It is only after taking this step and because of it that others notice them. Claim the right to be a chosen one. Say to yourself from this moment on, I choose myself. It is not that you have the right because you are worthy and capable. You have it, the right, as a matter of course. The variance space contains everything, including something that is intended for you personally. Your verdict that you have this right. This is your path to eternity. It sanctions the privilege to create your own reality. Let me kim that down for you. The gatekeeper to the variance space or to eternity, okay? Vadim Zeland refers to what you and I would say when we say creation is finished, when everything already exists as God has already created it, or if you are a universe person, the everything you've ever wanted in the universe that's already there, the thing you're manifesting, right? It's in the universe. It's in the other reality that you're deciding to choose to be a version of yourself that can therefore experience your desire. To simplify, if you're manifesting a specific person, right? There's a reality where you and your specific person are together. You are, by whatever technique feels good to you, choosing that for yourself every single day. You're choosing to be the you that is having the relationship, or at minimum, will have. You're choosing to be that new self. Well, that reality is held in variance space. That's how Vadim Zeland would break that down. So the only thing, the gatekeeper to you having what you want, the gatekeeper between you and your desire, or between you and variance space, or the reality where you have exactly what you want, is your decision. You being bold enough, ballsy enough, convicted enough to fucking claim what you want. And that's that. Literally, that's that. You've claimed what you want and you're standing in your decision because it's your birthright. That's the gatekeeper. Are you convicted enough? Are you claiming your damn right? Again, this isn't going out into the 3D and trying to force manipulate things. It's letting go of the 3D and standing in your decision, your conviction that you will have your desire. Or the way I like to look at it, I am that self now. I am the self that will or does have. The wording really doesn't matter. The conscious decision behind what you're saying does. What changed things for me? What got the relationship I wanted, the version of my person I wanted to manifest? I claimed my right to it. I was convicted. I was really standing firm in my decision that I was this new version of myself. You claiming that you are this new version of yourself doesn't mean that if you fall out, if you feel you are in a less than favorable state today, that doesn't mean you have failed. That doesn't mean that you have to stop claiming that you're standing in your decision or that you're no longer convicted. No, that means you're having a human fucking day and nothing more than that. So return to it. Return. How many times do you need to be told that this is your birthright? You are absolutely, absolutely worthy and deserving, but you are also entitled to what you want to experience. But no one is going to work the case for you. No one's going to do the deciding and the talking for you. You have to do it. You have to be bold enough to say, yes, I want that. I want that relationship. I want to be the version of myself that has that desire. And from there, you let 3D go. You stop fighting with it. You stop warring with it. If circumstances come in, you stop worrying about them. Now, that never means from the place of perfection. And if you are interpreting that way, I think you should check into what state you are currently embodying. It's never about perfection. It's about you opening up your eyes big enough to understand you fucking deserve this. You deserve this. This is yours. But you got to be the one to take that claim, to say, yes, yes, I do. And yes, I want that. And yes, I'm going to have it. It's mine. That's it to get through the so-called gatekeeper. That's the law he's referring to. And really, this is just some different way of discussing what the law of assumption is. What you believe to be true will be true. Who are you being? What state are you embodying? And by state, I mean what version of self. Where this came from, granted, we are currently in the Advanced Manifestors group. We are currently reading this Reality Transurfing in 78 Days book by Vadim Seelan. Hence why it's been in a lot of my content lately, because it's just, hey, it's on my mind. We're reading it in the group together, right? But really, this video was inspired by, shockingly, a coaching session that I had today. And, this person had an experience between the last time we had a session where their person had, shown up and behaving in a favorable way. But there was a circumstance that popped in. And what this wonderful Hbic realized was, number one, how she was responding to it was different. She was feeling pretty bold, convicted, adamant in her decision of what she wanted in reality and what she was willing to accept in reality and what she wasn't willing to accept. And in today's session, the idea came up of, first of all, we took the Have I messed anything up by making the decision that she made? Have I messed something up because I did this? Because what she did was say, you know what? No, no, I don't think I'm going to accept these breadcrumbs anymore. Not from a place of, I'm going to tell him no so that he will see I'm a powerful person. And then, if fear that he's losing me, and hopefully that will manipulate something in 3D. And hopefully I'll get it. No, no, it was from the place of, I am worthy of more than this. I am worthy of more than this. I deserve this. So I'm going to politely remove myself from the equation. I'm going to stop entertaining things that aren't fulfilling me. In fact, it starts to feel like work. And I'm going to get back to my decision of who I'm choosing to be. Do you understand what she was doing? This wasn't someone in a victim state trying to manipulate reality, and there is a difference. This was someone shifting into new self and placing a friendly, healthy boundary. I'm no longer willing to accept this kind of stuff. And obviously, I'm going to keep the personal details out of it for her own anonymity. Is that the word? I know I deserve more. And I don't want to keep entangling with something I'm not enjoying. So I'm going to take a sidestep. I'm going to take a sidestep. And that's exactly what this person did. I told her, well, number one, of course, you have not ruined anything. I stand by what I say on my channel, that I don't believe you can do anything in reality to mess anything up. I believe that if you are standing in your decision to be a version of yourself, no matter what you experience in reality, it is leading to your outcome. But you're the one that has to return to the decision. You're the one that has to tell yourself that. But you can't mess anything up, no matter what. Not if you're choosing to be a version of yourself. I'm just saying a particular version, but regardless. So of course I told her, no, you haven't ruined anything. In fact, sounds to me like you chose yourself. You chose yourself. See, there's always the option to keep intermingling with a version of your specific person that, your old self would be triggered by. Your old self would be living in fear that if I say to this person, I really don't want this kind of stuff anymore, I'm not comfortable with it, while at the same time choosing to be a version of yourself, of course. That's always a part of the equation, that you're still choosing who you want to be. If, especially, may I just add, and I should have said at the beginning, was especially if you are someone that has never felt comfortable setting a boundary. And suddenly you have this overwhelming feeling of wanting to, but not from a place of anger, not from a place of fear, not from a place of a victim trying to manipulate, but from a place of, I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing things that make me feel good because I'm in charge of that. And my new self would not accept less than exactly what she wants in a relationship, and being comfortable in her own skin. I keep saying her and she, because it's a her in this equation, but obviously you can use the words that apply to you. Okay. She wants to be comfortable to speak authentically in her 3D and speak from her heart authentically, and knowing in confidence that I know what my outcome is going to be. I know the outcome is I'm going to have the relationship, but I'm going to choose joy. And that's exactly what she did. Listen, when we're manifesting whatever it is, we get to stand in that claim. We get to stand in that birthright to have the experience we want to have and do things that feel good to us. And if that means setting a polite boundary, if we feel there needs to be a boundary, that is still you choosing self. That is you claiming your right. It is also, in my opinion, especially in her situation, I believe 100% that helped shift her really and standing firm in it, her new self in that new state. Because when you are in the new self, now, this is also from the perspective of your new self knows their worth, knows what they deserve, knows that they are allowed to experience their desire, that it is safe and secure to trust that you can have whatever it is you're manifesting. This new version of you, this self knows that. Because this version of yourself that you're choosing doesn't have the limits that your old self may have had. And when you're willing to say, I'm not exactly loving an interaction. And I would say, for anybody out there, you could apply this to, what about friends with benefits? That could apply to. When you are having an interaction with someone that's not bringing you joy anymore, and you're settling for less because your old self was afraid to speak up and say, I'm not loving this. Or maybe you're someone that did speak up and say, I really want us to be more. I don't want it to be just this situation. But maybe a specific person has said, whoa, I don't want the relationship. I'm not looking for that. This is all I have time for right now. When we keep participating in it. Now, again, hear me out. This is a case-by-case scenario. If you keep participating in it and it feels good and you're fine doing it, well, then keep doing it. Okay. But for those of you that have had the experience of you keep that entanglement going and you are aware that it's a friends with benefits scenario, and you're afraid to say, hey, this isn't what I'm looking for. I want a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. And you're afraid. You got to check in with yourself as to why you're afraid, because that's not your new self. That's not someone who is in the place of knowing their worth. That is still someone operating from fear. And that's exactly what happened here. She decided, I don't want to operate from fear. I don't want to show up to 3D in fear anymore. I want freedom from it. I want to feel safe. Number one, that we can go all in here, that I can trust that this manifestation is coming. It's mine, my birthright. I am worthy of what I want. And I also don't have to continue intermingling with things in the 3D that don't make me feel good. They're entanglements that make me feel I'm accepting less because my old self accepted less from fear. When you start stepping into new self, you're going to find that in situations like that, healthy boundaries do arise. You do feel comfortable saying, yeah, no, this doesn't feel good anymore. This is what I deserve. And you can comfortably say it to your person. And know that no matter what, how they respond in 3D, that it honestly really doesn't matter, because it's unfolding to exactly what you want. You do start coming to that awareness as you keep choosing yourself. You will notice that as you, in repetition, keep choosing to identify as the new version of yourself, that limiting beliefs, limiting old behaviors, old habits that were not serving you, that were nothing but anchors to an old version of you, anchoring your specific person to the story of them showing up as less than, giving you less than what you deserve. Because out of fear, you kept hanging on to it. That as you are shifting into your new self, because who you are at your core is already shapeless, formless, pure, unadulterated consciousness, AKA unconditional love, totally flawless. That's your true self. That's who you really are. Everything else is layers of beliefs, ignorance, unhealthy beliefs. Not all beliefs are bad, but they're just levels of limit. As you keep rising in consciousness, which in my opinion, that's what we're doing as we are evolving. We're rising in consciousness. And I think these limits are falling off of you all along the way. And you're going to find that you're going to want to stop showing up and operating like your old self, or hanging on to old habits that old self did from fear. I know I'm being repetitive, but I think the point is really, really important. Who are you showing up as today in reality? Your new self, or are you still operating from fear, showing up from fear? When all you need is to make that bold decision that you are your new self. And please, this needs to be very, very clear. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to tell you what is right for you or what is right for you in your relationship. So again, the friends with benefits, if that phrase gives you a trigger, you don't like it, and you know you're participating in something that you know you are labeling friends with benefits, then this video is probably for you. But if you are someone that is standing firm in the conviction that you are your new self, and you're also enjoying some benefits as things are unfolding, and you're not operating from fear, and you're not afraid that this is never going to change, then this video isn't for you. But you will know what's for you if anything I'm saying is ringing true. So who are you today? Because whether your manifestation is sitting in front of your face or not, you have the authority, the birthright to show up and be her or him now, the new self. We don't have to wait until the manifestation is sitting in front of us to be in the new reality. And if you think you do, A, you're either thinking a little too logically, or B, are you waiting? Do you really feel like life is on hold? Because that's a whole other video. Some of you do operate from fear. And more than likely, it's because you're not aware of what you're worthy and deserving of. And that is something that you should think about and make a new decision for yourself. Because I promise this doesn't have to add on linear time to your journey. But I will tell you that as you start putting the focus on the who you are, you will notice reality changing at a little bit quicker of a pace. Who are you? Do you know that everything you desire is literally at your fingertips? Do you really know that? Have you been afraid to go all in on focusing on being your new self from fear? Why? Why? This is a great moment to come to terms with that and think authentically. Why? Go all in. Give this your all. Aren't you aware that you're worthy for that life change that you've been hoping for or wishing for? I know I'm speaking to somebody out there. Don't you know you deserve the life you want? And you don't have to tolerate horse shit from anybody in your reality. And maybe right now, someone out there that you are doing that. You're afraid to stand up for yourself. Well, guess what? I'm giving you the permission. You deserve exactly what you want. You deserve the best. You are more than worthy of it. And there's no one literally in the way between you and that manifestation. That gatekeeper isn't a person. That gatekeeper is being bold, is having the conviction, is having the guts to say, yes, I'm going to start applying this. I'm going to be the new self. That's it. So what are you waiting for? This has to be you. It has to be you that makes this decision for yourself. It has to be you. You have to know you're worthy. And if no one else has ever told you that you're worthy and deserving, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If your logical mind just said, Kim, you don't even know me. You don't even know who I am watching the video. I don't need to. We're all one consciousness. You're worthy and deserving of exactly what you want, but you're the person. You're the part of consciousness that has to claim it. So claim it. Get busy claiming it and stand in that decision. And reality is going to change. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.